back to Storytime with Potato. So what we have here is a bit of a brief rundown of the stuff I've been up to since last time. So like I said, since last time, I plan to just power through the whole long annoying section here of just going and collecting crafting books and collecting upgrades. Since quite a few folks were saying to just go ahead and you know, off-screen that crap, so yeah. And by the way, if you see the screen going on and off, for some reason it's just being dumb today. Alright, there we go. So what we have here is what I like to call the play of the game for that particular fight. So, there was a very fortuitous thing that ended up happening a bit after the stream ended last time, because, well, I just kind of kept going on with that same run for a few more hours until it was done. I believe all in all I used like 100-something traps during that fight. Okay, that's probably an exaggeration. I have no idea what the exact number was, but it was a good number. Anyway, so what we have here is a mix of ivory towers. So, like, okay, this was a pretty good setup, right? Then when it got to this move, what happened was I put down an ivory tower. Since that fairy ended up moving up, it was their one healer. They moved 2 tiles away from where the Terranite is. So they moved exactly right there. The other guys were about to throw out all their moves, like the Terranite was about to throw out a finisher, there was a Mighty Strike coming in from the Soldier, the Knight was, I believe the Knight was about to throw out a finisher, and over here, this healer decides to move themselves into perfect position. So I put down an Ivory Tower trap, standing on it right there, went and did Vendetta on the Fairy, so took out their main healer, and then just basically avoided all their moves at one time. It was so freaking satisfying. Yeah, a few rounds later was getting a little bit beat down there, but stuff kept moving on. So kept healing and running and moving and what have you. Was kind of noticing a funny thing here where we had technically unlocked shamans, but we never really necessarily used one, but it still shows the prevailing element, which this was the first time I've ever seen it where it's like triple dark. I've seen it do one element or another. Granted, this is just something I never really look at, so it's probably been there the whole time. But you usually don't see like, oh man, it's super evil here today. As you can see here, Bob, and we've just got straight up ghosts and demons up in the sky. Looks like it's literally just raining blood right now. So yeah, I'm not sure how weather's that evil, but whatever. And I was really lucky to have gotten the Terranite locked away like I did. Because, yeah, that was the guy that had Armorcraft, a.k.a. probably the most useful thing. Not sure I just walked into. Oh, you walked into a weather report about it raining pure evil. And yeah, so this is basically just a quick slideshow going over what happened since last time. By the way, the audio's okay, right? I hope. Typical thing of I have no idea where the audio is, so, yeah. Audio's good? Okay. So yeah, I got lucky with locking away the Terranite here because he had Armorcraft. It was the single most useful upgrade in this entire run. And so this fight went on and on and on, and then the Knight had Shieldcraft. That one I knew about. I honestly have no clue how the crap I wound up in a situation where I ended up not knowing about Armorcraft, because seriously, that is legit the most useful crafting book. And we'll get to why in a little bit. So this continuously went on for probably another couple hours or so. Just putting down traps, slapping stuff, healing, burning through resources. And so yeah, then finally got on to this next fight here. This is the one that has the new slingshot item in it. So ended up getting that thing. This took a couple of attempts, so I'm not sure which attempt this was. Because yeah, a few times I ended up getting just really bad RNG with the griffins and stuff like that. So the first time through, everything was looking great. I got the slingshot, ended up getting a fancy new bow, which, by the way, I double-checked. Yeah, the rules did specifically prohibit bows, so I later went back and sold them, but this was one of the failed runs anyway. But yeah, here's the successful one. Got the Vritra, the new slingshot item, so basically that thing can't miss. So then we were done with that map, and then moved on to retry that one, because I completely missed the fact that the fist was there. So yeah, ended up going back and redoing it once I realized that. And this next part was kind of pointless, because yeah, the volcano map is not necessarily too difficult. I really expected worse. Like, I'd say the Land of the Supplicant was definitely the hardest. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot of healing that they can actually do on this particular map, so it just wound up being a battle of attrition. And then there was this point when I realized, hey, I mean, if they're all just going to come down this corridor, I'm just going to keep shield bashing everything off this cliff. So off everybody went. I think in total it was like 5 or 6 units that got chucked into that volcano. And they just kept falling for it. It was great. I mean, one of them even put up a freaking phalanx over there, so it forced them to go down that corridor even more. God, I love the shield bash mechanic. And so yeah, as you occasionally see, the final unit got themselves stuck in that little hidey hole. Or actually, the second to last unit. And then I got myself stuck in the hidey hole, but for some reason this archer decided to come down and say hi. So yeah, got that sorted out. I forget why exactly this screenshot was here. I think I was just making orbs to go make... Oh yeah, I was crafting some of the new items. Alright, so this build wound up being particularly viable. I know that was good. I forget what else was going on there. This was a fun one to play around with, because I wanted to see what would happen if you pretty much maxed out luck and gave them a Wukong. So the funny thing with the Vritra, sure, it's a guaranteed hit move and everything else, and potentially that might be really useful combining with Art of War later. However, it also gives a luck bonus. So in this case, they were running like plus 90 luck or something with the Dynamo plate. So it was a fun build. It didn't wind up being particularly viable, unfortunately. It would have been really cool if it was, but oh well. So then I realized, you know what? It would be a really cool idea to have a better gun at this point, because I had the Fusel Enchilada, but I didn't have the basic Fusel book, so I couldn't craft black powder. So I was asking around, and Rakes was telling me that all Fusiliers dropped black powder at this point, so went over to hang out at the beach for a while. So for those that didn't know, if you leave from the port town to the beach, you can spawn Fusiliers here. From those Fusiliers, you can steal black powder as well as Fusilier marks. So that's what I did. However, this fight took quite a few tries, since yeah, you gotta get away from those water tiles. You gotta kind of kite people away. Gotta manage to actually lock away the Fusilier. So I was kind of excited about some of these drops. This one I just found hilarious because this Fusilier was hoping to defend his beach, but I mean, when I came in here, I didn't expect him to turn it into frickin' Omaha. So yeah, this guy just had his tank barricades all over the dang place. And then he kept putting more of them on the dang water, which is even better. So then just ran around one-shotting stuff, as you do. Wound up getting overwhelmed, as you do. That guy went for a swim and made more barricade boats. Oh yeah, then he started squashing his own barricades. That's what I was trying to show there. And yeah, then got taken out by that same guy, who decided to now stand in front of his barricades. It was embarrassing, but at any rate, yeah, so was comparing the Wukong and the Lombardia, and see, on paper, the Lombardia has 20 less attack, but it's also got 22% bonus damage off of Slash, plus scales entirely with Divine, so that's potentially like 60% more damage on that thing. But yeah, thing's pretty darn good. Plus has a very, very sharp accuracy bonus. If you compare the two of them, you get 100 extra agility just using the Lombardia instead. In fact, every Wukong build I tried kind of fell apart. So I feel like it's a fun meme weapon, but yeah, I can't really say that there was too much use for it in the solo. Alright, so at this point I figured I'm going to go and try to pick up Azelston again. That backfired almost immediately. So then I decided to go for a Caster Dragoon type of build to see how that would work out. It kind of worked. So then I tried going for like a double strike deflect setup. This seemed like a pretty solid idea at the time, and then went for for Parry Blade plus Wukong. Also seemed like a fun idea. The Holy Crown is there to make up for the Wukong's accuracy deficits. I was hoping that the main Gauche would end up countering the general bulk of the Wormscale armor pretty well. It was a solid okay. Ultimately, just ended up going for beating stuff with a stick. Oh yeah, so yeah, did a Dragoon stick build for a while. That was pretty fun. Just kind of going entirely for Og Wind. Ended up getting a Nimbus bow. Just took a picture because that was just a neat drop, I suppose. But yeah, there was one point here where it was possible to put out 500 damage with a single spell cast, so that was fun. Basically, the Kreisvelg here does a 1 to 3 attacks, so potentially up to a little bit over 500. And yeah, then went for pistols later, so that was kind of neat. Was just dealing with using the standard Patilla for a while. I ended up getting the Belter far later, but this kind of went for something like this. Did end up taking a picture of this octopus because I found it hilarious that his name was Anus. I know, I'm 12 apparently. So let's see, I went through Farampa a couple times doing this pistol build thing. It went surprisingly well. I just basically kept healing and shooting this poor Enchantress for, I think, like 3 hours. I just kept kind of just dealing with that over and over and over, just going back, picking up the game, dealing with other stuff, repeatedly attacking this poor Enchantress. Eventually maxed out Fusils, because that's just kind of how you grind up in this one. It didn't actually take 3 hours. It was like, in total, maybe like 30 minutes of constantly doing it over and over. Fusils go up pretty fast. Anyway, so yeah, skill ranks happened. And so then I went back thinking that I'm going to go get more materials off these dragons. I mean, to some degree it worked. To a large degree it didn't. Just went through Farampa multiple times to gather up new materials. Then figured, okay, I really need that Belter because this Patilla sucks. So I went back to deal with this map again. Insulted the locals. Kind of murdered the locals. Yeah, this kind of thing happened. Found out these guys can potentially be robbed for panaceas and mending salves, so that's a hell of a lot of money to potentially get. Went for more healing and tanking as you do, and then got just all the debuffs. So got slowed, charmed, stunned, envenom, frightened, staggered, ice verse. Like this map was throwing out debuffs like nobody's business. And so yeah, then went to go charm an octopus. That worked pretty well. Robbed more medicine from the locals. Wound up getting black powder from the guy. Then I believe at this point I died and had to come back again. Then realized I could go for a one-hander build. That worked pretty reasonably well. Then got completely owned by this guy who basically went and took a bow snipe upside the cliff with a guaranteed crit to knock me into my own trap. So beautiful. I thought I had set up an amazing trap there. Got owned by the AI, as you do. So then decided to go on this cliff instead. And I believe this was actually the successful attempt. Because, yeah, wound up completely ruining an entire group of them here. Wound up getting the Fusilier mark. Wound up getting the black powder. Wound up actually getting a second black powder later. Actually, apparently 3. Apparently I ended up getting a few black powders and got my magnum. And, yeah, then figured this will be an easy win now. We're going to go to the Earth Temple and, yeah, robbed some lumber from the local ghosts. Did a whole big AoE thing. Ended up dying again. So then went back to Farampa for a bit. Then just griefed some local wildlife. Whipped some griffins. Ended up stealing some more priest marks, because I kind of realized those were pretty good, since we were going for guns now. And this guy here with his Jingu Bang kind of killed me a couple times. So, you know, stuff continues as it's been continuing. Same thing with me knocking this dang cord out yet again. There we go. I don't know why it's so janky today. So then flagellated the dude. Ended up getting a fancy sword. I wasn't actually sure if it was any good, but I don't think I've looked at this thing still. Oh yeah, and then was getting ready to do that tier list from the other day. And funnily enough, this is actually the Trickster that I was hoping to review, because it turns out having dual katanas on a Trickster is really strong. But then I somehow missed the fact that Tricksters weren't on the actual tier list. They're a solid A tier. Yeah, the Headhunter with the double one-handed spears, fantastic. Had the Paragon here with the only build they ever need. And yeah, then went back to Farampa some more. Did more of this thing, as you would expect. A bunch of dudes died to the giant AoE, and then I died to the fact that you kind of got to leave yourself completely open for that one. And then finally, we get to my new favorite build. Well, okay, this is off by one piece here, but yeah, there we go. There it is. So you know how stupid this build is. So on paper, you might look at it and think like, hey, there's no defense on this thing. That's because its defense is the fact that they can double turn everything. So yeah, especially towards the end game here, where there's a lot more heavy equipment around. This is a case where this build can potentially almost double turn everything on the map, and it's absolutely amazing. The main Gauche is pretty good for disabling stuff outright. The Scout Gloves give an insane amount of luck on top of everything else boosting the luck. Scout Vest gives you 1 extra movement and weighs almost nothing. Like, every part of this weighs almost nothing, has really high evasion, really high luck. Not to mention, with Strengthen on, Omni Strike can still one-shot a lot of stuff. Like this thing, and some other stuff. So I started going through the Ice Temple, and that went really well. And I found that you can kite just about everything all the way around the map, and it's awesome. Not to mention the new bristles are finally a fist weapon that comes with Envenom. So now suddenly they're taking 20 damage per tick instead of 10. Oh, and the AI actually used Agony for once, so that hurt. Wait, that's not the Ice Temple, that's just Colorado. Yeah. Yeah, fair. You got me on that one. Yeah, we just were on our way to Array, and, I mean, okay, the Airbnb had a little bit of an issue. There was a bit of a, we found a ruins in the mountains, so we just went to go hang out there. Let's see, Snow and Infinite Snakes, that's my last apartment. I gotta know what that situation was about. Oh yeah, so yeah, stabbing stuff with the main Gauche, pretty good for shackling. And yeah, so just kept kiting everything around the map and letting it die of Envenom. And just like all of these temples, it's pretty neat. So yeah, with all the temples, if you didn't know, for some reason, they've got next to no healing going on, especially in the One Vision mod. If you may notice a few missing icons and things like that on my Vita, let's just say some stuff went weird the other day. Oh, yeah, right, I forgot I have to restart this thing. Because for some reason, opening up screenshots causes everything to break. Yeah, so I ended up reorganizing all this. Because, yeah, a bunch of stuff just doesn't have icons anymore. It's some weird Vita bug. I've tried a bunch of different fixes, but it didn't quite work. So here, let's go ahead and turn on this, for one thing. So I'm going to need your opinion on audio real quick here in a moment. Okay, hang on, is that... Okay, first of all, how loud is this audio right now? If anybody could tell me. Because it's looking fairly loud. I'm thinking it should land around here-ish, ideally. But yeah, let me know how that's looking. Let's go ahead and test out whether this one will launch or if we have to restart entirely. Let's see, okay without any other sounds. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if the game audio will properly come up now. And yeah, it's looking like we're gonna have to restart it. It's so bizarre that opening up screenshots inexplicably causes the game to not launch anymore. And it's not even a One Vision thing, because it would still be the same kind of relative stuff between the two of them. So, yeah, I think it's just something to do with adrenaline or something like that. It's a little strange. A little strange. Also, apparently it's going to be stuck on an infinite turning off loop. Come on now. You know better than this game. Oh well, anyway, so that concludes story time with Potato. This is just going to take a minute to shut off. There we go. Now we relaunch it. Should come up just fine. Then I gotta restart the system. See how long it takes to launch. But seriously, what happened with the Snow and Infinite Snakes? How'd you manage to have snow snakes? Normally they hate it over there. Try this one simple trick to keep snakes away. Live in the snow. They hate it. Although, funnily enough, I would have thought the snow would have kept away flies, too. And then randomly some flies came with some Chinese food earlier. Yeah. Didn't end up eating that. But there you go. Okay, so there we go. Now we're properly cooking. It's probably going to be a shorter one today, because as per usual, it's until the kiddos wake up. But wanted to share a quick update before, before anything else went wrong with this one. If you're wondering why there's potentially a bit of a shorter one today, there's yet another one of them tier list things going out, since the response has been pretty good, for Night of Lotus this time. So yeah, that'll be uploading as soon as this happens. Alright, so am I getting drowned out by the audio right now? Because the last time, the latter end ended up being nigh unwatchable because of how loud the dang game audio was. Alright, so apartments out here are like $1,000 a month, basically a house payment. So we were trying to leave our first apartment, and they charge utilities for the following month, even if you leave on the 6th, unless you read the meter the day you leave. Didn't know why they didn't just read the meter themselves, but I wasn't paying for a month's worth of electricity, so I went to find the meter. It was in a set of bushes with no apartment employee would enter. And turns out that's the cause. It's all snakes. Like, I entered snakes and fled in every direction. Oh man, that sounds like our cable box over here. I don't know if you remember from last summer, but there were friggin' wasps everywhere. And yeah, the guy goes to check the cable box, and I'm looking around because I'm hoping, once they leave, hopefully I can figure out the issue themselves, because, let's be honest, in a lot of cases, Comcast sends a guy, then they send another guy, then they send another guy, and usually it's something like, plug the wire in. So, anyway, went to go check on it, and sure enough, they're just friggin', like, looking around, cussing and yelling at all these wasps. Alright, so, okay, so, am I getting drowned out by the audio right now before we go forward? Now, supposedly one of these ends up dropping a thing. I think it's her that drops a whip book. I'm completely not sure, because truth be told, I haven't really... Let's see. Could be a little louder, but I can hear you. Okay. Let's do this and this. How's that? Is that better? Alright. So I'm thinking we probably... Do we head up that way? No, we head up this way, because these guys are going to be way slower. We're going to get worse terrain bonuses. Wait, about the same? What? We fix. We fix good. Oh, there we go. All good now? Alright. Because, like, even if it's a little off, it can get very annoying very quick, so yeah, let me know. And I was checking, by the way, on the whole, like, Outer Worlds thing earlier. I was checking on what happened there. Apparently that's just a thing of, like, PS4s and Comcast doing that sometimes, as far as why it was all turning into squares. So, ultimately, I think what I'm going to do with that one, since streaming off the PS4 is not really looking good, even to any degree whatsoever, is I'm probably going to go and, let's just shankify this dude. There we go. Yoink. Yay, we stole their metal. By the way, yeah, I'm just running around robbing everybody to see if anybody feels like giving me good healing items. Most of the time, that'll be a hard no, but whatever. But yeah, no, so since that is how it is... Oh, rude. Yeah, this one might be already scuffed here. Beautiful. Very beautiful, in fact. So if we do a... Okay, good. Survived it. That is an interesting spear stab they got going. Oh, rude. Alright. Okay, that... Hang on. Getting back to that thought in just a second here. Okay, can't do the move that I thought I was going to do. There was a really cool move in that last fight where there was an opening for, just due to how freaking fast this build is. Basically just threw out a Howling Rage, took out 3 dudes and ran away. It was pretty darn good. But, yeah, should have gone for the trap early on. Really, not too much hope in this particular one succeeding, but that's fine. We'll be back. We'll deal with that. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. Okay, AFK and on and off for a bit. I need to hit the grocery stores as soon as they open. Sadly, can't get delivery of distilled water anymore, which I need for some medical equipment, so I have to brave reality. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks right now. But on the plus side, at least hopefully there won't be folks doing the whole like, oh, you can't force me to wear a mask, it's not a law yet thing anymore, because it's becoming a law, so screw them. But yeah. So at least there's one minor difference. I'll say I was a little bit surprised. I don't know why I was surprised, really, because basically news came out that as far as the whole vaccination plan and whatever else, after all of the talk over how much they're definitely doing and working so hard on it, turns out previous folks literally didn't even write one down. So it should be shocking, but it isn't. Oh well. Hopefully that's all done and over with now. New guy ain't perfect, but it's nice to see actual stuff happening that doesn't involve somebody sitting and, you know, crying about their own ego 24/7. It's nice. What the hell was I on about earlier? Oh yeah. So that what I was saying about the whole Outer Worlds thing, that is still doable because there's a cheap $1 Game Pass thing going on right now. So technically, can just do the PC version of that. And so whenever that happens, just literally going to do the PC version. If it happens within the trial period, good. If not, then that one will just be abandoned. Because I really don't feel like throwing money at it. But I'm pretty sure it'll be doable within a few more attempts. It's pretty much all routed out at this point. And there we go. We got a pet dragon. Or a pet hydra, rather. Which, after the water temple, I feel like I probably should have moved them up in the tier list. Because them suckers are hurting real good. Please block more of those 55s, sir. Okay, that guy's dead. Good. Miss, please. Oof. Yeah, empowered friggin' boulder throws are insane. Yeah, I was about to drop a 300 on me here. It's like a 350 on a boulder throw of all things. Alright, I feel like we need another Bewitched trap over here. I'm not sure if anyone will fall for it, but there we go. So your Hydra is only locked in OB64, no March of the Black Queen or KOL. Yeah, I think so, because in Black Queen they had worms. Yeah, I don't think there's any Hydras in Black Queen or KOL. And there we go, we got another friend. Hello, friend. We put our trap down, which traps make friends, you know. Wait a minute. Did Rake specifically put 2 different charm traps as a traps joke? Like, you know, the other kind of traps? I gotta ask him about that later. Does that sound like a thing they would do? Maybe. Well, we can get a Vendetta off. You know, here's what we do. We drop another trap. Actually, no, we do Speed Star. We take 1 step forward, throw out a Vendetta. Actually, we need an Omni, don't we? Alright, that... Maybe we throw out the... No, we don't. Because it's pretty much exactly enough to finish him off, so... Blah. Alright, fine. Thing is, I think that's the one that might have the crafting book. I haven't looked it up. Um, the only thing we're here for is actually the book at the very end. So I'm just collecting boss books going forward here. I know there's the whip enchilada, which I'm hoping just drops. It's somewhere, I'm sure. I don't even remember which temple it's in right now. Rude. Yeah, I know he mentioned a while ago potentially turning, man, I hate it when they do that. Potentially turning bags and things like that into unobtainable drops for enemy units, just basically making them impassable tiles. I haven't seen anything new about that, though. Let's see, did KOL have worms or wyverns? They have such a cute design, but they're so useless. KOL just had the alignment dragons, I think. Which I have to say, like the one that kind of looks like a worm, the Naga, always my favorite. Just like that cool, that whole snake design where it's like they circle around the portrait and then they've got their face in the middle. I just always loved that particular design. Just looks so good. That's probably death right there. Nope, that's blocked. Like you can see, this build, despite having no defense to speak of, is still pretty threatening. Unfortunately, we just got whipped to death. Got whipped real good. Alright, let's try that again. I mean, I would say the worms and wyverns and stuff like that in March of the Black Queen were pretty solid. Alright, we're gonna try going this way this time around. Turn on Ye Reaver Ring. It's basically a throttle for your entire body. You just turn the throttle and go fast. I just like to think they're making like vroom vroom noises every time they they turn on the Reaver Ring. They just grab their fingers, just one man go fast, me go zoom. And of course 2020 happened, and of course then he had to do all his calls with Zoom. But it's okay. It's okay. Alright, let's do the Mangosh. So, like, I feel like unless it's going to kill or poison's going to put them within death range, I like putting out, I like throwing out the slightly lower damage Mangosh. Alright, Petrify, sure, let's Petrify a dragon. It's not necessarily a great idea. Stop is a bit better than Petrify for this. Actually, a little side note that I always kind of appreciated. The fact that one of the map designers decided that there needed to be this little ice path up here. It's like, it doesn't really do very much, but it's just cool that it's there. It's got appreciated. Gets you away from the kind of blocky look of anything. But yeah, just deflect plus crazy luck, plus really high evasion. Like, this is legit just maxed evasion against everything. It's so good. Anything that doesn't check for resistance or mind or something like that for a hit chance is pretty much going to be bottomed out. I absolutely love it. Crits are pretty much constant thing. We're going to go over here, hopefully get somebody to walk into that trap. There we go. Beautiful. And yeah, because the scout gear weighs almost nothing, that's why we're able to go so fast. Plus Speed Star. I have... Wait a minute, whatever happened to that last screenshot? I took one screenshot earlier where it basically was triple rounding somebody. Oh, and probably one thing I should mention on those tier list things. So since I get all the pictures from wikis in most cases, because, you know, they're going to take a little bit of a minute to put together, there have been some cases where pictures just didn't show up. Like, if you're wondering why the Trickster was missed, when I went back later, it was in the pile of stuff that I had selected for that actual list. And I noticed later when I went to use the same picture for Night of Lotus, that it wasn't showing up along with the octopus for some reason. It turns out it just doesn't like some of them due to some layout of pixels. They were all the same format, so I'm not really sure why that was. But I believe if they're like some certain range out of range, it gets upset about it. It'll show them in the preview, but then it won't show it in the final version. It's weirdly specific, but whatever. Alright. Throwing out his enervates. Goody goody. Please miss. Thank you. Alright, and I'm going to keep trying to use steel on these guys, because I want to get a tooth and claw. I don't exactly know who drops... Like, I think tooth and claw comes from griffins. But either way. And I'm going to assume, since not many units use whips, that that lady with the whip is going to be the one that we're looking for. Again, I don't know for sure, so we'll see. Alright, Howling Rage. It's the rage. The not cosmic rage. Nice, this guy had a bunch of rocks on him. It doesn't seem like rocks would be a good prize, but they're actually a pretty good prize in this particular run, since most of the crafting that I still have left to do is limited by the fact that we are super broke. So, yeah. That's always fun. Stun? Oh, no stun. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out before he does anything too weird. And we're gonna go ahead and throw out another trap here. Another Petrify is fine. So a lot of stuff towards like bosses and things like that will resist Petrify. That's why I'm just allowing that one to get thrown out. So stuff like Charm and Stop and stuff like that I want to keep a hold of. I would like to use more Emperor cards, but I feel like I always get into some emergency where I gotta use them the second that I end up picking them up. So, whoops. Man, Rogue is so good. It's just so dang good. Alright, so we're just going to retreat and take a heal. Running a little low on Mending Seeds, but I'm hoping we'll be okay for the boss. Our equipment weighs nothing, so we scale up like crazy. Got a Hermit card. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Card drops, in One Vision, I really don't feel like they're too much of an issue. Like in Vanilla, they were fairly worthless. In OV, just the fact that traps are so dang good makes them pretty good as a prize. Alright, please block that. Oh, jeez, dude. That guy just punched out 400. Please... Oh, turn, please. I would like a turn, please. Please don't murder. Ooh, no. We're about to use that salve. Can I use Howling Rage and still not die? No. Alright, so there is our emergency super heal. That 250. Fortunately, that does leave us without it for the future, but whatever. Throw out another trap. Alright, Mr. Guy, please block. Oh, come on with your 25%, man! Anyway, he's a statue. Alright, please stop hitting with your incredibly low odds. My luck is amazing. I swear. Okay. Also, I gotta mention, another thing I love about this build is just the fact that he's constantly blocking with a knife. Like, he's alternating between deflecting stuff out of the air with claws and blocking stuff with his knife. It's pretty great. Please block that. Thank you. Okay, and poison? No poison. Alright, should be safe until next round. And in fact, I feel like we need to throw out a, I'm gonna throw out an Apostate and become immune for a little bit. So basically, Apostate renders you completely invincible to magic for a little bit, because I think that's what that other one's going to use. Nope, that's a crossbow. That is not magical whatsoever. Because their magic-y one is apparently a statue, or what's going on there? Okay, we can Vendetta them. If we feel like rolling the dice. I think like Speed Star plus Heal is going to be the best way to go here. Or actually Speed Star and then Vendetta on that, because they are empowered, but this would... Yeah, Frighten's good there. So Frighten will basically descale their damage ridiculously. Oh, crap. That might be death. They're going to waste it. Please block. Oof, okay. That was a gamble, but it seems to have worked out. So now I can take a couple quick rounds. Do some quick recovery. Alright, yeah, you just face that way. Please block. Good. Good, good, good. Actually really glad about that one, because then we're slightly protected. I mean, they still might go for the whip, but... And yeah, her Empower rank must be pretty dang high. Potentially awesome move there. He can probably just get countered. Yeah, just go for the shackle. Ah, didn't get it. Oh, and got 25. Oh, are you kidding me? Alright, hopefully we're still fine. We're weak to stuff like Avalanche, but should be okay. And then... Miss, please. Double 25s? Are you serious? Good thing we invested in like 100 luck. Jeez. Alright, let's try that again. That was really close. Came back at the wrong time. Oh, geez, thanks for throwing that luck off, but no. By the way, so yeah, as far as luck goes, by the way, the reason I'm using the Scout Gloves as opposed to something with better defense, 30 luck, 20 luck, oh, I thought that boosted luck. Well, still, it's plus 50 luck. We should be maxed out at all times. Yeah, the stars are in perfect alignment, all you touch will turn to gold, so we are maxed. Less Hail Hydra and more Oh, Hail No Hydra. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hang on one quick second here. Back for just a second here. Yeah, if you haven't driven for a couple weeks, yeah, that thing's gonna be toast. uh, do you have like do you have a portable charger or something like that? Let's see. Yeah, it takes a while. I can try again tomorrow. Should probably go see if it's working. Yeah, need to have like a beat it kit or something like that, which it sounds like a weird device, but yeah, no. It's basically this like I think they're like $30 or something like that. But one of the best things I ever got as a gift was from my brother years ago. It's this portable charger thing that's saved us so many friggin' times. It's ridiculous. Oh, 1000 IQ play from the dragon here. Yeah, we're dead. Oh man, that is some 4D chess if I've ever seen it. Holy crap! Coming in with the bash straight onto a trap, straight into a finish with a 100% hit move. Oh man, got played. Anyway, what was I again? Oh yeah, so the Beat It kit, it's basically like this portable battery thingamajig. They just it like comes with some clamps. You just leave it charged. Just like you turn on your car with the thing plugged in, and all's fantastic. So yeah, it's pretty darn snazzy. But yeah, had gotten the thing from my brother years ago as a birthday gift. He's like, yeah, this is the one thing that you'll thank me for forever, and he wasn't kidding. Yeah, had multiple cases where we needed to charge stuff on the go, or we went out and got stuck somewhere, or the couple of times that we went to the wilderness, or you know, all the many times that either relatives got stuck in weird places and refused to park like logical people. I swear, one of the relatives that I've gone and helped out a few times there, for whatever reason, always insists on putting the nose of their car in completely unreachable places, like, for example, parking against the wall on the very edge of an exit to the point where there's really no legal way you could ever possibly park your car to actually go in and help them. But at any dang rate, so what ended up happening was yeah, we'd just go show up at the thing, plug it in, hook it up, everything's all good to go. And surprisingly, you can recharge the car like 20 frickin' times with that thing, even years later after constant use and forgetting to charge it. It still works great. Just the other day, I had left the car, I hadn't driven it for 3 days. Battery ended up freezing over, you know, usual kind of you live in the snow type shenanigans. And, well, sure enough, it wound up getting running again. Which, by the way, if you've ever wondered what it's like to live in the snow, imagine shoveling just all the time. So there you go. Just that. Have a dry throat pretty much all the time, and yeah, just in general enjoy terribly cold weather that constantly seems to ruin every plan that you ever have. And yeah, occasionally you get to build a snowman, so that's fun. So good times, good times. All right, whoosh. All right, that was a little bit anticlimactic as far as those moves go. See, car started, giving it a little time to warm up, driving like 10 minutes and stopping again. Feels like a recipe for a way for it to die again, so making sure it charges a bit first. You know, when the heat finally kicks in. True stuff. I was just explaining a general synopsis on how it feels to live in the snow. Usually, not very good. But okay, let's see here. Alright, looks like we're going to be taking a bunch of physical damage pretty soon here. I hate using these things. Because, I mean, they're potentially so useful for so many other things, but yeah, immunity is pretty fantastic. Howling Rage, maybe. How about Omni Strike? What would that look like? And not very good. So we'll just throw out a Howling Rage. No, we won't. We'll just take a heal, I think. Let Poison do some damage. Because we're probably going to throw out a bunch of counter claws here. That should be 2 traps. Yep. See, Colorado's not as bad as Michigan. I've just been exhausted and stocked up, so I forgot to drive the car. Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. Colorado's got some pretty amazing natural stuff going on, though. Like, I've been hyping up a array to my wife for forever now. So one of these days, got to end up actually going there. Like, they've got really good coffee, and it's this whole big amazing place with hot springs, and you can go in the mountains, and then you can ogle the fact that everybody's so much richer than we are. But yeah, hopefully going there someday. Someday. Alright. Let's do another trap. Shackle we'll throw out there. Now we do the Howling Rage. Just to have some damage out there. Alright, take out about a third of their health. Hopefully somebody runs into those traps finally. Freaking Empowered Dragon nonsense. Get out of here. This lady is made of bullcrap. See, where was that? Ouray. O-U-R-A-Y. Ouray, Colorado. I swear, these guys with their 25%, what did I even invest in luck for? Don't know it. Should go there, it's pretty awesome. Okay, good. Didn't get 25'd again. Didn't roll a poison on that one either, which is a bit unfortunate. If there's a chance to use up the last Ivory Tower and go for another Howling Rage, I'll take it. It does use up the last of these, but actually, can I make it to here? Yes. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and put Ivory Tower there, become immune to physical damage, just deal with the archers. Nuke these two, because dead. With any luck, nobody will take their items. They might, but they're cards anyway, so they're not going to be the book. Hi there, let's see, Shinigamidan. How's it going? Oh. Hang on one quick sec here. Okie dokie. Got it, Mr. Vale. Mr. Guy here has all the responsibilities now of telling all kinds of snake stories, so get on that. Alright, so I got the kiddos their breakfast. Should be wrapping up soon here, actually, for that reason. Is this one of the ones that's attacking soon? No. Is this one? Yeah, and there's a pretty good chance they'll wreck our day. See, it all just comes down to those 25%, because... I mean, we could potentially just run right the hell out of here, actually. And I feel like that's probably going to be the way more fun move. So, yeah, we're going to do that. It's a bit risky, but we're going to go double punch this dragon to death. Suck it, dragon. And, yeah, then just run away. Because we got movement for days. Alright, and hopefully The RNG is nice and doesn't completely murder us here. Okay, he didn't run into a he can do that. Okay. See, the game screen is freezing. It randomly does that. Like, I have to go and reset it every time it freezes. It's just a matter of streaming off the Vita. Which is a matter of personal preference, because then I can go take screenshots and it saves them and it's nice, and it's a weird way of doing this run, I know. But yeah, should be all good now. Although, is it really that far back behind that it's actually still on the freezing screen thing? Alright, what kind of moves can we make here? Really can't get into any position to take those items, so I'm going to start dragging people over around this corner. I don't know what's in that bag, but I would like it, whatever it is. Even though it's realistically probably another card. The game does love doing that at this point, and these guys haven't been completely updated. The only ones that would be updated would be the ones that are going to be dropping crafting books, which just have their drop table updated, as well as the drop tables for the actual end bosses of these areas. So, there's that. So, like, I'm thinking if anyone's going to be dropping a crafting book, it's probably her. Which what I'd like to do, if at all possible, would be to stun them, but... or shackle, rather, because I've got the parrying dagger for that. But instead what we're going to do is we're going to trap this knight. Yeah, shackle's fine. Pop that right over there. Stay here, because we can both make both abuse his movement range, as well as still have our evasion. Because despite the fact that we've got maxed evasion against everything, it doesn't really matter too much when they still have a capped out amount, and they... okay. They didn't hit the 25 that time. If one of those 25s crits, we're just insta-dead. Yeah, power is no joke. Alright. And apparently they're going to keep spamming it every round, as they should. Alright, are you going to drop a book? Did not drop a book, so... Alright, so I should point out, as far as the... yeah, okay. As far as all that goes, if, as I've mentioned before, I believe the crafting book is guaranteed as long as they drop a bag, but whether or not they drop a bag is still random. And this is the only one I've seen with a whip, and that's the only book I'm looking for right now. And yeah, it wouldn't have been them anyway. So, alright, whatever. So yeah, I don't actually know where the book is then. I think... was it in water? It might be in water. But I don't know for sure. Because I thought it was the one on the bottom left, but I haven't really done that one. What else can we do here? We can do apostate. We've got a bunch of... let's see, who's coming up? We've got this one that's coming up. You are a witch. Yeah, we'll go apostate, I think. Because we've got one physical attack and probably one magic coming in. Hydra shouldn't be able to reach us unless it goes for the rock, which has a very high chance of missing. Nice. Oh, please miss that. Okay, good. Good. Alright, so he's out of business for now. And she went for the book. Very rude. Yeah, there's not really going to be any good moves we can do against him here. Let's do mending. And throw another trap. Yeah, Petrify's fine, because he's already really slow, so that should keep him out of anything for a while. Actually, getting cursed is kind of convenient here, because we're not turning around. So we might have a better chance to actually evade some of the stuff that's coming in. That's 100%, so we can't evade that. See, traps are insane. They're pretty darn good. I mean, it's always 50%, so it's kind of a matter of how well that particularly functions in whatever scenario you're in. But yeah, for this particular build, they function amazingly. Not to mention, this guy is crazy fast on account of having no defense to speak of whatsoever. Alright, yeah, whatever. We'll leave that there. Okay, go put your blade in the sink, Peanut. Then we'll get you ready for school. There we go. Like, this thing is very weak to casters, but, just pure RNG fuel, more or less. And I feel like we're going into the last fight with some good resources. We didn't need to use the salve this time around. Got about 20 healing seeds. Plenty of traps, so hopefully it's something. Gotta go zoom fast. Alright, that's a problem, but still a workable problem. Unfortunately, they're going to attack immediately. They don't have a finisher. They've got lock damage. Other guy's too far away to reasonably do much of anything, so we'll do that. They're probably going to go for the book, so if we throw out a petrified trap back here, see if we can bait them into a back attack. Ah, dang it. On a bit of a side note, I wonder if it was intentional that they made them move like chess pieces a lot of the time. Like, you may notice they'll do L-shaped moves pretty often. And I always wondered if that was an intentional programming thing or just a weird quirk that happened to happen. Alright, got our resistance bonus. That guy's going to take another year and a half to actually get here, as well as block his own progress. Fantastic. Alright, how would you like to get shackled? Alright, didn't work. Attempt robbery, receive lumber. Okay, almost stolen item. I don't know if it's a good item, but I don't care, I want that item. And he's trying. He'll get here eventually. Alright, that won't finish her off. Yeah, matriarchs are pretty bulky. What I should be going for is like a poison slash here. But what I will be doing instead is taking a mending seed, throwing out another trap. And then we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Good. Please don't take that bag. It'd be very douchey if you took that bag. Okay. Okay, they got themselves petrified instead. Beautiful. I knew they'd go there eventually. Alright, can he move there? Annoyingly, he can. And you might be thinking, oh, they'll definitely take a back attack if you bait the trap that way. Yes and no. They very well might just decide to go take this instead. So just in case it is a crafting book, I'm going to go take it. Because there's really not many left. There really aren't any that we specifically need. The only ones that I really, really, really want to get are going to be guaranteed drops at this point. Yeah, none of that's going to be particularly amazing. In that case, take another seed. Walk over here, bait it out this way. Alright, that's fine. He's a statue now. Do you remember when the vanilla game had absolutely no use for traps at all? Like, there was literally not a single functional use for them whatsoever. Like, did you know you could do an AoE stagger that hits you too? Boy, oh boy, how amazing and fun that is. Sure glad that's in there. I mean, I've tried. I've legitimately tried to do nothing but traps before, and like, there's just nothing to it. There's nothing even remotely salvageable about the vanilla trap skill. The fact that they could be reworked into something like this is nothing short of a miracle. Alright. We're going to go take this card, because I want that dex bonus, because we need that damage. Which, granted, right now we're running fists, which is scaling off of strength, but whatever. It's still an accuracy bonus. Alright. Now, so one thing I'm not sure about, but I'm fairly confident about, I don't think it's possible to parry the main gauche, because it technically counts as a shield bash. So I'm not sure, but it seems possible. I mean, it does just count as single tile physical damage, so it might be possible, but it would be cool if it wasn't. Alright, let's go ahead and save that there. So I have to go get my daughter ready for school. See, his on Vision magic got nerfed so much. How do you figure? Magic got friggin' boosted in one Vision. By this point in vanilla, most casters were either doing 1 damage or none. But yeah, across the board, Magic got its attack boosted. The only reason that it seems nerfed in this case, like, this guy is fairly weak against magic, but bear in mind, standard resistance is like 30. This guy's running 63 right now. So I've been collecting so many stat cards on this guy. Like, there's no logical scenario, even running the game multiple times, that you'd have any character this strong, and he's still getting completely owned left and right. I mean, he's still taking hundreds from basic magic abilities. If anytime that they were throwing out Draconics, it was going up to 200. If they threw out summons, I've seen that go to like 400. So they can still dish out, well, hell, they dish out way more damage than they used to. But yeah, everything about this build is just stacked for crazy amounts of evasion. I mean, Swordmasters by endgame usually have like 210 something evasion. This guy's at almost 300. There's no logical reason to have a character like this. Not to mention, Steel is... Wow, that's actually... I mean, I know I've been using it a lot, but Jesus. Last I checked on this, it was rank 3. Yeah, that ranks up way faster than it used to. Like, legit, I just started stealing random... using this to take random medicines and things. And it's 12 points away from max rank. Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, they've accidentally got both of the steel boosting items as well. I mean, this guy's like a very, very hyper-advanced mugger at this point. Just running around with his little butter knife in his claws. Oy. Alright. So this, yeah, no, that's second to last route. So we've got fourth descent, and then we've got the temple. But yeah, so I gotta go get my daughter ready for school, so let me go do that. And then, yeah, we'll be doing story time and all that with the, with all of the screenshots and whatever else for next time. Because I'm probably gonna do this one, the next temple, and then, yeah, once that's done, then we can just move on to Palace of the Dead. So what I plan to do by next time is, yeah, finish up this temple, finish up Earth Temple. I think there's one, like, I don't think I've done water, but I remember going to the area where the water one should be. So I might have finished it and just forgot about it. Or I might have just accidentally disabled it somehow. I will try to fix the freezing. It's annoying, but it's largely out of my hands. We'll see. We'll see if I can find anything to fix the freezing. And then after that, probably go finish Azelston's side quest, because that's just kind of locked in limbo right now. So hopefully go unlock the Buccaneer, then go to Palace of the Dead, probably unlock Lord that way, because that's only floor 13 that we need for transcription. And then after that, then we can start next time at Hanging Gardens, and then go from there. Because, yeah, it's literally just an RNG grind until I get through these maps right now. So, yeah. We'll do that next time, and see you then. Take